been in the music game for how long?
I've been in the game, I would say since I was about 12.
You've been in for a little bit.
But I've been doing music since I was 8 or 9. I've been rapping, doing rap music. So, yeah, it's been a while. I mean, more than half of my life I've been doing it. More than half of my life. Just on a family basis, on a personal basis, I would say it would have to be my father and my grandfather, my stepdad and my grandfather. My stepdad is who taught me how to rap. Originally, he taught me how to rap. He's from New York, from Bronx, New York.
I'm from the Bronx.
Really?
What Bronx is he from?
241st Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
He ain't from my hood, but he still got that, 241st is good. Actually, you ever hear about Webster houses?
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but he's from 241st. The last stop is what he calls it. That's the last stop on the train. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I used to go back and forth all the time.
He's by the Van Cortlandt Park.
Right.
Road.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know about that area.
So I used to go back and forth all the time in New York and back and forth. And I would be in ciphers and stuff. And I was young, 8, 9 years old, and be having to rap on spot, with a lot of grown guys who were like battle rappers and stuff. So that's kind of where I got my upbringing, mm-hmm. my training from, And so I carry that with me. I carry New York as a part of me because my father who taught me how to rap is from there. Me, I'm from D.C.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm originally from D.C. So those have been my inspirations. But
D.C.'s the go-go music. New York has the original hip-hop.
Right. Big shout out to the whole go-go movement. I can't wait to go back so I can hear what's new out there in that world. As far as like inspiration in the music world, I would say Wayne, DMX, and Bob Marley, probably the biggest influences.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
DMX is one of the best. Bob Marley, of course, and definitely Wayne.
Right.
Now,
I relate to all three of them. It's different levels of reasons why I relate to all three of them, but those would be probably my biggest inspirations in music, though.
Who in particular do you feel has given the most to helping you build your career as a recording artist, or who has influenced you the most? Because, you got a Wayne, which is from a different era than, I don't know, Wayne and X is probably...
Nah, it's two different eras. It's two different.
Well, Wayne was on, I was on the Cash Money Rough Ride tour in 2000. They both were on that tour.
Okay. Well, it's two different eras as far as, Wayne's, of course, the Cash Money, but the Wayne that I'm talking about is like Carter Wayne when he started that, Okay. That's the Wayne that I really grew up to, I would say all of them have a big influence on me, and I take even Tupac too. I just named the three that came to my head, but it's a lot more. Tupac, Biggie, they had a lot of big influence on me, but I would say that all of them have a lot of influence in making up who I am as Issa, on the spiritual level and even on the musical level, because Bob Marley is more of a spiritual level for me. I love his music as well, but a lot of the things that he represents, a lot of things that he stands for, and the things that he talks about in his music, a lot of things that I believe and that are true and that I stand for as well. So I definitely feel like spiritually it would be Bob Marley who I would look up to as inspiration, and as somebody as a man that I look up to just as a person, even outside of the music. Wayne, I grew up listening to Wayne. In my era, he's like I always say like the Jay-Z of my era. Mm-hmm. I grew up listening to Wayne. That's always been my favorite rapper. I had a lot of comparisons. People make comparisons to me to Wayne all the time. And I used to hate it. I used to be like, nah, I don't sound like it. But I think I've grown to understand that it's something that as naturally, it's just a cadence in my voice. Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of second nature, because I'm so used to listening to him. So it's not like a situation like, a lot of other artists where I'm trying to sound like anything like him. But I think I get those comparisons sometimes because of that. But he does have a big influence on me. As far as DMX goes, he played a big part early on when I first started listening to rap music. So that's kind of where, when I first got into rap music, that was the first rapper who I really loved and looked up to. Tupac, that'll be the last person I'll probably talk about. Tupac used to confuse me, but I never understood him until recently. I never understood why he would make music, and it would kind of be contradicting in a couple ways, because sometimes he would be, it would be bitch, and and talking about street stuff, and then the next moment he will be making uplifting music. And I realized that I'm more like Tupac than any artist that has came probably after him, because I can go both on different levels. You know, I can talk on the street level, and then I can make uplifting music at the same time. And I think the reason for him doing that was because he had to catch people's attention. You know, he had to get people's attention in a certain thing, so he would put out certain music to get the attention of the streets and get them listening. And then once you get people listening, then you can say what you really want to say. And that's the same thing that I'm doing. And that's what I talked about in Machiavelli, if you listen to the verses and stuff, and basically just giving the streets what they want, you know, and then being able to finally talk about what I really want the world to know. But I don't think everybody's just ready to hear everything I have to say just yet. So I have to, you know, do it in little.
What is the most important social issue for you right now as a 20-year-old? Social issue.
All of them affect me. All of them affect all of us. I mean, they affect all of us because it's I think, and this is just my opinion, I think that this is something that has been going on, but now that we're such at a high level of technology and we have social media and cameras on site now it's being seen and being displayed on a national level where people can just look up and see. Every time somebody gets killed, you see it on Instagram or you see it on World Star or anything like that. So I think, I mean, it's been a situation that's been ongoing, but I think now it just seems like it's worse because everybody just has so much easy access to it. And, you know, anytime something happens, it's pulling out a camera and putting it right on Instagram, putting it right on the blog site, and it blows up everywhere. So I think that this has been something that's been going on. I think it's been something that needs attention, and I feel like I think we need people to use the influence more to really stop it, you know, and not just having a t-shirt with stop the, you know, whatever, or just wearing it at a basketball game and stuff like that. It's more than that. You know, I think we need more leaders for our community, you know, more than just wearing a t-shirt or just maybe putting up an Instagram post saying something. It's going to take for somebody to really come in and really do some leading, really do some leading like how Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, how these people were leading, how they were really speaking out. But at the same time, I know people are scared because when you start having people speak out against America and against the world and against politics and stuff like that, that's when your life becomes in danger. You know, the more you know and the more you speak on things, especially when people are listening, they want to silence that. They don't want those kind of things to be heard. And I think it's going to take just for somebody to come who's not scared to die.
Are you using your music as a vehicle to help spread a message of change or positivity?
Yeah.
And if so, give me an example of one of the songs that touches on a social issue that you feel that, you know, you can affect your community.
What off the top right now, a song that I just put out is Whips and Chains. You will have to listen to the record, you know, so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. But the record is about mental slavery. And it's basically making a comparison between whips and chains, cars and jewelry, and like slavery back in the day when we were getting whips and shackled up in chains. And I'm just showing the difference. But I'm saying in the song is all these whips and chains, they don't make me a slave. Basically, all the jewelry, the cars, and all those things, even though when I get those things and have those things, I'm still aware that this is not, I'm not a slave by them. I'm aware of what's going on around me. I'm aware that this is the things that they give us to enslave us mentally. These are the money and all those things. These are the things that are given to us to keep us quiet, to keep us not saying anything, to keep feeding our community a lot of bullshit. Excuse my language. And that's just what the song is about. And I feel like it's a song that's waking people up and opening some people's eyes. Even I think a lot of people know the messages that I'm talking about, but some people just don't. I think maybe it might be hidden somewhere in their brain. Like I find myself talking to a lot of people about different subjects, and they know about it, but it's just simply people don't speak on it or don't feel like it's something that needs to be spoken on or doesn't let it come out of them. And I think we got to start really, like as a people, just as a culture, got to start speaking on it and making a change. Rather than it's like, what's the point of knowing if you're not going to do?
Right.
You know, it's like, there's no point of knowing if you're not gonna do better. It's like if you know to do the right thing, but you just know it in the back of your mind and you keep it in the back of your mind and you don't ever use it, it's just kind of like if you know every single day, you know, you going to work every day and you doing this and that, but you know you have dreams and you know that you can be pursuing your dreams and you can be going out and doing more, but you're not just because you, like, this is how your life has been set up and you're just trapped inside of that. Now you're trapped. You know what I'm saying? You're not living free. And that's what the song is about, mental slavery. So that's just one of the songs that I have out of a lot of music that I'm gonna put out in the future. But I definitely want to use my voice on a bigger platform, not for personal reasons and not for selfish reasons and just for self-glory or anything like that. It's more to, you know, at the end of the day, it's for spreading the message. So no matter what music I put out, it doesn't matter what I say. Like what I'm saying right now is this is all the plan. So I can put out a song like Machiavelli and put out street records and all that kind of stuff and talk about all those things. But the reason I'm doing that is whatever I say is getting people's attention. You know, and once I get people's attention, you can definitely count on me to follow up with music that's going to be inspiring. It's not just all bullshit. I'm not just feeding. It's all a plan. It's a method to my madness of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just if you might hear a song, you might go listen to a song and be like, how can he say all this stuff? And he just, you know what I'm saying, made a song and he talking about this and that. But now you understand that I'm aware that I'm talking about this. I'm telling you this because this is what people want to hear at the end of the day, especially from a new artist. They don't want to hear you go that deep. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to.
I guess, so are you saying to me that sometimes you got to kind of lure them in before you are able to give them the real essence of what you do?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.